All right. You have made a preliminary image, but there's so much more to do. The goal of this module isn't just to make a pretty picture, but to really study this system and your other two star clusters as well. We're going to dissect them. We're going to extract every star in your image and measure the brightness. And we're going to do it in all four filters that you observed in B, V, R, and I. So that's a lot of stars, multiple filters. That's a lot of measurements. You may remember back to modules 1B and 1C, you did brightness measurements, aperture photometry, either the moon or Jupiter, and you did it manually, just a single source. Here, we're going to do it for all these sources simultaneously. And of course, you're not going to click on each one individually like you did in those radio modules. Here, the whole thing will be automated. It's something we call batch photometry. Okay. Now, to set up to do this, go to Settings, go to Photometry, and slide down to Photometry Calibration. It'll probably look like this, turned off. Go ahead and turn it on. Only one catalog should be selected. It should be this one here, APAS. APAS was survey of the sky. They observed from the southern hemisphere. They actually used one of Skynet's prompt domes for the southern hemisphere study, and then also a parallel survey in the northern sky. Imaged all the bright stars, calibrated them. These are going to be our calibration stars. Just like in module 1B and 1C, even though they were radio modules, you measured the brightness of the moon or Jupiter, but you also measured the brightness of a calibrator. Here, APAS is our collection of calibrators, and we're going to use them to calibrate not just a single object, but every star in our image. Okay. Go back to the workbench. Next, you go to the source catalog right here, the star icon. And it doesn't work on the group level. You have to come down and select an individual layer. And I recommend selecting the R band. It usually has the most stars. It's usually your best image. So lots of stars there. First thing we're going to do is include sources from other files. Now, if anything pops up, then you want to press this button and clear it out. Clear out any previous work that you may have. Okay. And then we're going to go to add sources. It doesn't really matter how centroid clicks or planetary centroiding set. Go to add sources, source extraction. We're going to extract across the entire image. Go ahead and extract. Take just a moment. There are a lot of stars, and well, found them already. Now, I didn't find every star, but we have a good collection of stars here. Usually the brighter stars are identified. Though if the field gets too crowded, it often skips those. Or if you have one star that's way too bright, it may skip it as well. But you will get a good collection of stars. Next, go down one tab, the light bulb. That's the photometry tab. Here we go. And there are two boxes here. One, it's doing photometry. In fact, if show apertures are on, you can see them there, little aperture photometry everywhere. Though I actually recommend you turn show aperture off. It makes your browser sluggish. Too much stuff is printed on the screen. But just know, it just did aperture photometry around all those stars. And the first green box means it's done with that in the red band. And then the second box tells you it's been calibrated to APAS. Here's the 0 point. So that's the calibration of the photometry. So you not only measured brightnesses, but you calibrated them. Now, if I go to a different band, let's go to the V band here. Same stars that we extracted and it's going through, it just found the 0 point, and it just finished the photometry. And you can go to any layer and it will do that. But really, we want it for all 4 layers, and we want to dump it into an Excel file that we can then use in a different application to study the star cluster. To do that, come down here, select images. Do not select all. You have a lot of images open, and this will be very, very slow if you select all. You really just want to slide down here and select your 4 stacks. Not just BV and R, but also I. We want the brightness measurements in all 4 bands. So select BVRI and nothing else. Click off the box. You have to click off before you can press this button. And then press the batch photometry button. It's going through and extracting these stars in all 4 images. It's doing aperture photometry, and it's calibrating it to APAS. It's a lot of work, but it's already done. And it's loading the results. And now we have a downloadable Excel file. We have 801 sources. And I'll just open it up and show it to you. And so it has everything. It has the date and time and the telescope and the filter and the magnitude and the error bar, calibrated magnitude, etc. You don't need to know how to read this file. We're going to upload it into something else in the next video.